Alright, well I got a little bit more than corn chips when I was in the store there. Welcome back, or I'm back. I never know if I should say welcome back every time, because I don't know if it's going to be at the beginning of the video or in the middle of it. So I did get a couple bags of $1 something corn chips. And even though I've done much better these years cutting back on drinking pop, I had to get three 1 liters of Mountain Dew because they're $1 a piece, so that's $3, and I put them in the back. Hopefully I'll forget about them, and then when I'm craving a pop or something, I'll be like, "Ooh, hey, I think I got some here." Because I still got a little left in the fridge. But they're still on sale for $1, so I was like, I better get a couple more while they're on sale. Boy, that sales stuff really reels people in, because it reeled me in, and I'm normally pretty disciplined. I'm so disciplined, I haven't bought ice cream in the longest time. Oh, my friend Tony got me a Oreo shake the other day from Burger King. That was nice of him. That's the first time I had something like that in quite a while. It was pretty good. I know it ain't healthy for you, but it sure tastes good. And then I got a few packs of tuna pouches. I like the little flat pouches because, especially living in a camper, you don't have the can for garbage, which takes up more space. The pouches are flat. You can bring them down. You don't need a can opener. You just tear it open. Cans, you got to squeeze stuff out. Well, anytime I have extra drainage stuff, like whether it's squeezing it, if it was squeezing a tuna can or a can of vegetables that I was draining out or something, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that, you know. And so I normally have an old ice cream container with the lid that if I have something like that I pour it into there. Then I try to dump it out later, you know, like somewhere in the grass or sewer drain or something like that, because I don't want to just open my door and throw it out on the parking lot or something, you know. That'd look terrible. Not that it would hurt anything, but because it's not water, it would also, when it evaporated and dried, it would leave a mark, you know, which makes it look chunkier, you know. And I don't want to be making anywhere that I'm staying looking junkier. I like leaving places as good or better than I found them, you know. So yeah, I got some more tuna because I got crackers left yet. So, and a lot of times, part of my weight problem that I've had in the past, I mean, it was comfort food, you know, dealing with life or whatever, you know. You start eating food for whatever reasons, I don't know. But I understand it's comfort food, you know. And and I used to eat till I was full. And my other bad thing was I'd eat right before I go to bed because it helped me sleep. I still like to eat something before I go to bed, which I know that's one of the worst things, because then you're not burning those calories. It's hard for me to go to sleep on an empty stomach. But then what changed a lot from where I started really losing weight, when I got from like 400 pounds or whatever I was over. Because once I hit like 390, I didn't step on the scale again until after I was below 390. I didn't know if I was or not, but I didn't want to risk it because I know I gained weight after 390, so I'm sure I was over 400 pounds. So I was just ashamed of myself. I didn't even want to step on a scale ever again. So then one thing I did is I tried cutting my portion size down, and how I did that was when I was hungry, I'd feel the hunger in me and my stomach, you know, growly or not good or whatever, you know, that empty stomach feeling. And then I would make something to eat, which tuna and crackers a lot of times tuna and saltine crackers would help fill that void of hunger before I go to bed. So that was a lighter snack that's good for me to eat before I go to bed, because it's enough to settle my stomach so I can sleep. So that helped a lot, eating just like tuna and crackers with a lot of pepper. I mean, I never used to like pepper either, but pepper helps increase your metabolism and helps you burn calories. And so does like citrus, you know, like lemon juice and stuff like that. So I need to get some more of that sometime. I've got the squeeze bottle lemon, but I want to get the concentrated stuff too. But when I cut portion sizes down, one thing I did is I used to eat till I was full. Then I got into the habit of trying to monitor how I felt when I went to eat something. I was really hungry. And instead of eating it all, it's like I'd make a can of soup or something, and then I'd eat a package of crackers with it, and I'd eat it till it was gone and done because I didn't want to waste. You know? And I'd be full. And so then what I started doing is I'd just have a bowl or something instead of eating the whole dang thing, and after I ate a little bit, I'd take a pause and I'd think, well, am I still hungry or still, I ain't full yet, but am I still hungry? When I noticed that when I paid attention to it, that I didn't have the hungry feeling anymore. I mean, I could have ate more because it tasted good and I wasn't full yet. But just by monitoring that I wasn't hungry anymore, I was able to quit eating then because I wasn't hungry anymore. I didn't have to be full. So then stuff that I used to eat in one sitting became 2 or 3 meals. So then a little later, if I got hungry again, well, it was still there. I'd just have a little more of it, So then I started having smaller portion sizes, and that helped out quite a bit. If I wasn't late and I wasn't tired, I'd probably go to the library tonight, but I'm thinking I'll go tomorrow. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I just I guess I might have titled this nighttime video of how I lost weight, because I was definitely over 400 pounds, and last time I weighed myself I was at 276, so I lost probably at least 125 pounds. Now since I quit working at the foundry, I probably might have gained a little more weight. But it can be done, Ain't easy. So, as much as I'd like to keep that running, and I don't have no reason to keep it running. I don't know why I'd even want to keep it running. I guess because before, when I was working, I didn't think about having to hurry and shut it off. And it's habit for me to want to keep it running now. It would have charged my batteries a little more if I kept it running. Because we've had this cloudy stuff going on, so my batteries aren't totally topped off right now, my house batteries. But I haven't ran out of power. I'm doing fine. I got plenty of power. Still run my diesel heater. I can still plug in my laptop if I want. I keep my tablet, my cameras, and my phone and everything charged. So it all works out. So I got plenty of juice, but I'm still learning more. I've never ran my batteries empty, but that's because I'm a little more cautious. I try a little bit at a time. Like my newest thing I'm doing now is my refrigerator only runs on 12 volt and 120 horsepower. Well, the 12 volt it doesn't run on 12 volt, it's actually propane, so I worded that wrong. It runs on propane or regular AC 120 power that you plug into. The 12 volt, all it does is ignite the flame for the propane. So you do have to have 12 volt on in order to get it to light and stuff. But I just wired ran an extra line over to the back of the fridge compartment on the outside from my inverter from my solar system. So that way, when my inverter's on, if I want, I can run the fridge. But that does pull 300 watts, so that starts pulling on my batteries heavier than anything else I got in here running right now. The other day when we had good sun, I waited till my batteries were at 100%, and it was like, I don't know, 10 in the morning or something like that. I looked down, I haven't noticed my batteries were at 100%. And then I turned on the fridge on the inverter, and we had good sun that day, and I ran the fridge from 10 in the morning until about maybe 5, 6 at night. So I ran about 6-8 hours off of my solar system and batteries, and then it started dropping down the voltage a little bit, so I was probably down to, I don't know, maybe somewhere between 50 and 70% of my batteries or something like that. So I shut it off because I didn't want to run my power down, in case I needed to run the heater, and then I had to plug my laptop in or something. I wanted to have, I've never liked running out. I want to make sure, in case there's something I want to do, that I got power left to do it. So, but my fridge hasn't been running for a while, so it's trying to catch up and get cold again. So I was hoping that if I had enough sunny days, I could turn it on, for so many hours a day and get it caught up. Because once it gets to cold, where it's frozen in the freezer and the fridge is cold, then it won't run all the time. Like it did that day for 8 hours, because it's trying to get up to temp. Once it gets up cold and everything in there is cold, then it should only run for a little while and it'll shut off. And once I get to that level, I should almost be able to run it pretty much nonstop. Just with my solar panels and my battery bank that I got going on. But then that means I got to keep my inverter on. So my plan is, rather than keeping my inverter on all the time, I would just run it, get it really cold, and I got to learn the timing on it. So then at night, what I'll do, because I'm not using it at night anyway, and the doors stay shut. So at night, I could shut off my inverter, and then when the sun's out again in the morning, I could turn it back on. That way it's giving my inverter a rest. Now once I'm back to work or got income, then I can go back to just running it on propane. That way I don't have to leave my inverter on at all. And I should almost think about getting a separate inverter just for the fridge, so I don't have to leave my big inverter on all the time. Because I got a 3,000 watt inverter, and my fridge only posts about 300 watts. So if I got like a 500 like a Pure Sign 500 watt, 600 watt inverter or something like that, that'd be more than enough to run the fridge on. I could run it on a separate line, and that would pull less power from my battery bank if I left it running all the time than that big 3,000 one. I'll have to think about that once I got income going, because if I do it that way, plus that way I've got a backup, and I'm a person of redundancies. I like having a backup, so if something goes out, I got a backup to last till I figure out the way to fix the problem. So basically, if I have a problem, I really don't, because I've got something to back it up with. And that's what that would be if I get another inverter for just the fridge. That way, even if that new inverter, the smaller one, if it fried out, I could right away plug it back into the big inverter. Vice versa. I do have another smaller inverter, but it's a really small one. That one's only like 150, 200 watts or something like that. And that ain't enough for that fridge. Now that I've learned a lot of this stuff, once I got income, I could probably build a pretty decent system. I know I could build a decent system and then get where I could, even with air conditioning and stuff, where I could run air through the hot summers, no problem, and not worry about draining the batteries too much. But it's been a good learning process for me, for everything I've got into it now. People I've showed it to her, because a lot of people don't understand the electrical and all that kind of stuff. I've just been a natural for a lot of things in life. I used to just think it was natural for everybody to know all these different things. Because I've done everything from sheetrock roofing, plumbing, electrical, masonry, you name it. I've done so many different things, and I don't know why, but things come natural to me. God's really blessed me with a mind that just understands everything somehow. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to sound like a conceited fathead either or nothing, but it's just true. I don't want to ever sound conceited, because that's not the kind of person I am. My karate master knew it too. He said I was outside of myself. I didn't understand that at first when he's trying to explain that to me, but I get it now. I just always thought everybody understood things like I did, And my mama tried to explain it to me one time, because she knew I was way smarter than her in a lot of ways. But she taught me so much. She was smarter than she gave herself credit for. And she started waking me up to that not everybody sees things as fast as I do or understands them as quick as I do. But I guess that's natural for a mom to notice in her child, I was just a kid growing up and just figured that's how the world was, So I always thought all my cousins and everything, that I figured I knew all this stuff. They must know because they're my older, cooler cousins, I got to catch up to them, They know everything, I must learn. I better learn it and hurry up and catch up, so I don't look stupid or something. Well, turn out I ended up knowing a lot more. Remember one of my cousins. I grew up with all my cousins, my older cousins watching Bruce Lee and stuff in the 60s, 70s or whatever. So when I was a little kid growing up, they're all, wow, Bruce Lee, Well, I looked up to them. They were all my cousins and stuff and my uncles. I thought they were cool, so I was like, and they're all chanting this Bruce Lee guy as they're throwing kicks and punches at each other. I'm like, this Bruce Lee guy must be pretty awesome. So I started watching Bruce Lee and studying martial arts. Well, one of my cousins who I always thought was really good at nunchucks and stuff, when his brother seen me spinning them one time, he's like, oh, you got to show Dave, So I went over to see my cousin Dave, and I was going to try to impress him because I thought he was really good at them, Well, apparently I was young but I thought he was not saying he was bad at them, but boy, did I blow his mind. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh man, there's so many stories. I should keep going, but it's getting long. God, so many memories. I got to keep recording this stuff because who knows how long the good Lord's going to keep me on this earth. And at least as I keep making these videos, even if they're boring a little bit here and there, my descendants, my grandchildren, my daughter, my grandchildren, or any of their kids or something, maybe, if they ever look up the family tree to find out more about old grandpa. And then I have some videos to look at. And guess what, kids? Whether you're my children, my grandchildren, or my great-grandchildren, or my great-great-grandchildren, or my great-nieces, nephews, whatever, however the family tree works down the line, I love y'all. And make yourself proud. Just be the best you can be. You don't have to be more than that. Just be the best you can be. That doesn't mean you got to push yourself to the extreme edge. You can at times, and you're learning and training, but don't overdo yourself. But be the best you can be, and that's all you got to worry about. As long as you're trying, you ain't failing, you're succeeding. So God bless y'all. Talk to God, say hi to him, tell him Darren says hi. We'll see you on the next one.